Good morning, class 8. How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing fine and great and taking care of yourselves. So, we are back with English, and in that who done it part, we are done with it was the band or the speckle band, which I had told you. We are done with that, and you are going to attempt all the word meanings and the question answers for homework. That's your job. Later, if you get stuck, I am there for it. But first attempt, you have to do it. And today we'll be on this part of let me say the section 2 of Who Done It. It's the creator of Sherlock Holmes, that's Arthur Conan Doyle, as we know. So it's a biography about him. What else is there? So before I go and hit the book, I want to tell you something about this person himself. So let's do it. Sherlock Holmes, as we know, is the fictional character, means it's not someone real in life. Created by the Scottish writer Arthur Conan Doyle. The prototype for the modern mastermind, rather, prototype is an original model of which something is patterned on or which is made prototype, an individual that exhibits the essential features of the later type standard of a typical example. So that's called a prototype. So a prototype, a person which is thinking about something, has made it into a story or made a character out of it, is the prototype. For the modern mastermind detective. So modern mastermind detective is Sherlock Holmes. The thinking is all about Conan Doyle. Holmes first appeared in Conan Doyle's first a study in Scarlet, published in Beaton's Christmas Annual 1887. As the world's first and only consulting detective, he pursued criminals throughout Victorian and Edwardian London, the south of England and continental Europe. Although the fictional detective had been anticipated by Edgar Allan Poe and Auguste Dupin and Emily Gaboriau, Monsieur Lecoq, Holmes made a singular impact upon the popular imagination and has been the most enduring character of every detective story. Sherlock Holmes is going to be a good book by author Conan Doyle. Okay, but in this chapter which we see here is the section 2, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. So we have to know about him more. Why has this person made this character? Something about what is there in his background. For strange effects and extraordinary combinations, we must go to life itself, which is always far more daring than any effort of the imagination. Extraordinary combinations, like we must go to life itself directly. We must think about life, what's happening in life, which is always far more daring than any effort of imagination. Our own real life is quite daring. Instead of our imagination, we can imagine a lot of things, a lot of dangerous things, but life itself is quite daring. His name is Arthur Ignatius Conan Doyle. Was born on May 22nd, 1859 in Edinburgh, Scotland. What I say, please match it in my videos with your book. The Doyles were a prosperous Irish Catholic family. Charles Altamont Doyle, Arthur's father, was a chronic alcoholic, was a moderate, successful artist who, apart from fathering a brilliant son, never accomplished anything of note. At the age of 22, Charles had married Mary Foley, a vivacious and a well-educated young woman of 17. Arthur's mother, vivacious, she was a good-looking, well-educated, good. His father married this woman of 17 at the age of 20. Mary Doyle had a passion for books and was a master storyteller. Her son Arthur wrote of his mother's gift of sinking her voice to a horror-stricken whisper. When she reached the culminating point of a story. This art of writing and getting that suspense, he learned from his mother. Because she was also a master storyteller. She had a passion for books. There was little money in the family and even less harmony on account of his father's excessive and erratic behavior. He was an artist, successful, but he had no great works. Drinking, and that was a very bad thing, it destroys the family. Arthur's touching description of his mother's beneficial influence is also poignantly described in his autobiography. His mother had a lot of essence in his life. In my early childhood, as far as I can remember anything at all, the vivid stories she would tell me stand out clearly that they obscure the real facts of my life. She was a storyteller. After Arthur reached his 9th birthday, the wealthy members of the Doyle family offered to pay for his studies. He was in tears all the way to England when he spent 7 years in a Jesuit boarding school. Arthur loathed the bigotry surroundings his studies and rebelled at corporal punishment, which was prevalent and incredibly brutal in most English schools of that epoch. Huge punishment used to go on. Corporal punishments used to happen. Bigotry surrounded, too much of rules. But he went through that. He had rebelled against it. During those grueling years, Arthur's only moments of happiness were when he wrote to his mother, a regular habit that lasted for the rest of her life. And also when he practiced sports, mainly cricket, at which he was very good. It was during these difficult years at boarding school that Arthur realized he also had a talent for storytelling. He was often found and surrounded by a bevy of totally enraptured young students listening to the amazing stories he would make up to amuse them. By 1876, graduating at the age of 17, I'll come back in the next video.